Hey then fam, let's make something very clear tonight, shall we? We've all seen some details come about PlayStation Stars. Now you know yourselves that I recently in a video was like PlayStation Stars could be a great thing. It could provide all kinds of cool stuff, integration of home, PlayStation VR 2, yada yada yada. This could be interesting. General sort of PlayStation fan hopes. But Sony, being Sony, had to go and ruin it. They never seem to know how to have a good thing. They never seem to know when they're actually about to do something right. And when they do seem to know they're about to do something right, they seem to do something to completely go the opposite direction. Today we got the news that PlayStation Stars members, apparently it's going to be a paid program, or at least you have to buy lots of things while being a Stars member, and you have to earn lots and lots and lots of trophies. You can't just be an above average or average gamer. You have to be like an uber gamer, you know, and earn all kinds of trophies like all the time and like all platinums. You know, you can't just be a guy that likes gaming and earn some trophies here and there. You know, probably get about maybe 40% of trophies a game. That kind of average thing for most players. No, that's not good enough. No, you have to be completely dedicated to PlayStation. Otherwise, when you want assistance as a customer for a technical issue, you'll be put in the slow lane. Yeah. And this is interesting because I've noticed something over the last wee while. Just about a couple of months ago, at Ask PlayStation on Twitter, no longer taking questions, and answering back questions of users, thus rendering at Ask PlayStation virtually worthless. The only thing they ever do is tell us stuff we already know, and linking to videos on YouTube that they've made about the stuff we already know, and quite frankly stuff that other YouTubers have made, and sometimes better. So there's that. At Ask PlayStation has basically become at Ask Google. It's like, because when you phone up the PlayStation helpline, I don't know if any of you have ever done that, but I'm imagining a fair few of you have. The basic problem you have when you ring up PlayStation for help is, one, you're on hold forever. And then when you do get on, the person that you're speaking to hasn't had the appropriate training. I know this because I have known some people, I have spoken to people, I should say, who have worked for Sony customer care helplines. And these people have told me that basically they get sat down at a desk, they're told that they have to end the call as quickly as possible, never bring the call to resolution, so that the person has to ring back, thus creating more revenue. When new bits of equipment come out, they're lucky if they get an information sheet telling them the basics about the bit of kit on hand. Like when PlayStation VR came out, the company memo was that all employees were to have experience of PlayStation VR and be trained to answer all technical questions with it. They saw the unit in the call centres I have spoken to the people who worked in about. They saw the units. Put it this way, right? They were supposed to have a gaming lounge where there was all the games from PlayStation, just all the first party games, right? And in their off time, they could sit in this lounge and play those PlayStation games. Those PlayStation games, no sooner were they in than they were gone, and the assumption was always that the upper management had basically just sold them. But it's not like you could ever take any time, because as soon as you even thought about having a break, somebody was like, what are you doing on your break? Why are you not on the phones? So it was just constant driving. And these poor people in these call centres, and trust me, I worked in a call centre for half a day. It's not a good environment. It's a horrible place to be working in a call centre. They just care about call volume and how quickly the call can be over, so then they have to ring back. That's all they care about. They don't care about the customer. They don't know anything about the product. They don't want to know anything about the product. They just want to have you on the line, spending your money because it's a premium rate number. They'll say it's not a premium rate number. If it's not a premium rate number, then why are you on hold so long? Aye. And, you know, it's like hundreds of staff, you can never get a hold of somebody. Something's fishy. But even before you get to that, there's also the fact that there used to be a web chat service. You've seen those web chats. No, admittedly, they're getting fewer and fewer and further between. Where you go to the website, you tap in what it is you want to know about. It says, we will connect you with a service agent. Eventually a service agent comes on, and you have a typed conversation back and forth about the issue at hand. That went away a couple of years ago, actually more like about 5 years ago. And before that went away, it used to be the case that you could go to the official PlayStation website, and there was a forum there where you could ask questions and get them answered. That went away, and then the public in the forums, because when we had internet forums, you know, think like pre sort of Discord, but run by Sony, okay? Some of the older guys out there, you'll know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about internet forums. But you would go there, and people go, well, this has gone away, so we'll take the place, because some people knew a lot, and they decided, we'll share our knowledge. So they shared their knowledge, and so I'm like, I'm having trouble with this on my PlayStation, and some enterprising so will go, oh, that's alright, I experienced the same thing, do this, this, and this. PlayStation shut that down, because they weren't making money from it. Nobody was getting rich off that. That was a community thing. It's when he always rattles on about community. Now here's the kicker, right? I can say all this because I am a long time Sony fan. Not a fanboy. A fanboy would never think to criticise Sony. A fan can, and this fan does and is and will do. Alright? Sony don't care about you. No company cares about you. Microsoft doesn't care about you. Nintendo doesn't care about you. Okay? Activision, Blizzard, you know, EA, Ubisoft. Name any company in and outside of gaming. No company cares about you. McDonald's, Burger King, HMV, Virgin, TalkTalk, O2. Any company you want to mention. It's like the Lego store. Okay? No company cares about you. They don't care about their employees. What they care about is making money. End of. And if they can give the illusion that they care about you, so then you come and spend your money with them, well, they'll pretend till the cows come home. It's that simple. Now, don't get me wrong. I've had some wonderful experiences with Sony over the years. That's why I have bought every generation of Sony PlayStation equipment. Handhelds, peripherals, headsets, you name it. Hell, I even buy the remotes. Although admittedly I've not got the PlayStation 5 remote yet. Right? But ever since there's been PlayStation remote, I've bought them. Right? memory cards, charging docks. Bought all that stuff. I even had the official charging dock for my 2 moves. Or moving nav, depending on what I needed. I had that. Right? PlayStation VR. Bought that straight off. And I've been a lifelong Sony fan. I've just like their electronics. My amp, my deck, and my speakers. They're all Sony. My headphones. Most pairs of headphones I've had through my life, just standard everyday headphones, Sony. And I could go on and on and on about the amount of Sony stuff I've had, because I trust the brand, they make good stuff. But I'm aware enough to know that me personally, they don't give a monkeys. What they care about is the money that I give them. It's that simple. So if you think that you're entitled to anything because you pay out for your PlayStation Plus every year, or monthly, or whatever rotation you do it on, or that you buy the premium package, they don't care. They care about the money. Okay, it's that simple. They didn't put PSX on for those 3 years that they had PSX because they cared about the community. They cared about the exposure, because that was basically free advertising. They owned the headlines and the gaming news for 3 solid days, probably even a couple of days after. Whenever they do E3, you ever notice that Sony always, when Sony used to do E3, they always went after Microsoft? Because they went after Microsoft, they got after Microsoft's slot, so then they could come in and say what they wanted to say, and make sure that whatever they had from their side plans that could be enacted if needs be would battle against Microsoft. There's no accident of fate for Adam Boys and Shuhei Yoshida to stand there with a game case and go, this is how you trade games on PlayStation. Admittedly Sony's ethos is different to Microsoft, but it doesn't make Microsoft bad. It doesn't make Sony good. It's just the decisions made by organisations that exist within a capitalist structure. I hate to burst the bubble here for you, my fellow gamers, but that's all it ever has and probably ever will be. Right? It's like, we could battle all day about how Xbox is better than PlayStation and PlayStation's better than Xbox and they're both better than Nintendo and all the rest of it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't survive. It doesn't hold up to scrutiny. And if you're a fanboy for one of these big companies, inside or outside of gaming, then I hate to tell you, but you're wasting your time and energy and emotional bandwidth, because they don't give a monkeys about you. They don't even know you exist. So don't go white knighting for a company, right? As Sony have proven today, that they really don't give a monkeys about us. Yes, they make fantastic games. Yes, they make an awesome system. Yes, the DualSense is a fantastic bit of kit. Yes, PSVR 2 is filled with promise and is probably going to be really super awesome. Yes, the Pulse headsets have been fantastic. Yes, the liquid cooling PlayStation 5 with its incredibly fast load up speed is a wonder to behold. But it's still made by a company with an agenda. And that agenda is in your wallet. Just, some thoughts to think about, guys, It's sort of so you can't really bother getting angry about it, because the fact of the matter is every single company does this. Every single company. Doesn't matter if you're going to go drink a coffee, buy a car, buy a DVD, get a box of cereal. It doesn't matter. Every single corporate entity does this. And don't think, oh, I'll buy from this brand over that brand. when it comes to like a cleaning product, or it comes to like a food product, or it comes to like pretty much anything. If you go searching about, you'll see, right, that like there are a small amount of companies that own basically everything. Right? And I'm not talking about like how Microsoft is buying Activision and all the rest of that. I'm talking like in basic economic structure, right? There are a small body of companies, and basically they own a web of smaller companies. And the thing is, in a lot of these instances, these smaller companies are competing brands against each other, but they're just all owned by one big brand. So you're given the illusion of choice. You're given the illusion of difference. You're given the illusion of this brand is better than that brand, when it's all the same. Put it this way, right? See, when you buy a can of beans, most of the beans you buy, right, most of the beans that are made, or grown, I should say, right, are all sourced from the same few places and all mixed together in the one factory. The only thing that changes is the sauce that's put in the can with the beans. That's it. So if you buy a can of like Tesco's basic beans, and you buy like a can of Heinz baked beans, the only thing that's really truly different might be a slight little degradation in quality of the bean. You know, like obviously there's better parts of the harvest, but what's really different is the sauce. The sauce those beans are sitting in, that bean juice, that's all that really separates it. So yeah, before you start getting all fancy dancy about this console and that console, you're basically just getting worried about bean juice. Live with that thought, guys. Live with that thought. And of course, hashtag support Scottish YouTubers. And aye, nae bother.